Piper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wrestle Lost. I have a feeling this is gonna be one hell of a episode because it was one hell of a week. So to get it going, here's Johnny.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. I heard something in the background as soon as I was going to talk.
Distractions are a thing today.
So, first of all, we want to send our best wishes to Jerry the King Lawler. On Monday, he was found in his driveway of his Fort Myers home. It turned out he had a massive stroke. This is the second one that he's had in the last 5 years. He had one in 2018, and of course he had the massive heart attack live on Raw in 2012, where he actually died. They brought him back. He was in ICU and he was released from that, and then he was released from the hospital yesterday, where he'll continue rehab, working on his getting back his speech and cognitive skills, because that tends to happen when you have a stroke. He lost feeling in one side of his body, so he's got to regain control of his speech. You know, I've had relatives before that had strokes, and they weren't ever the same as far as their speech goes. Uh, Jerry Lawler had a match just last month, and so here's a little brain trivia for you, that he's had at least one match every year since 1970. He's wrestled for 53 years. I think it's about time to hang it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we spoke about throughout the week. And yeah, man, I respect him for everything he's done, both in the ring, outside of the ring, on the commentary team. Like, Attitude Era years wouldn't be what it was without him and JR. So, yeah, as much of respect as we have for him, sometimes you just gotta know when to call it. And ever since the last heart attack, I wouldn't have had another match after that. But yet he did. Not even a month ago. And look at what happened. If that isn't a sign to stop, I don't know what is.
And already, this year will be the last year for both Sting and Dustin Rhodes, and they know well enough to when it's time to get out of business as far as ring wise.
Yeah. If they know that it's time, like, it is time. And for Sting, it's way overdue.
Yeah,
But still.
Like Great Muta, he's retiring. He's only in his early 50s. His dad, the Great Kabuki, wrestled. He retired just 4 years ago, so he was 70 when he retired.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure if either one of them had, like, a stroke before, like, this time we're in right now, they would have called it quits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I don't know what he's thinking, but I just hope this serves as a sign for him to call it a day.
Yeah, even JR gave his well wishes last night on Rampage. And I want to correct myself. I can't believe I missed his number. Great Kabuki actually retired in 2017 at the age of 69.
Nice. Yeah. Let's just hope, like I said, that he takes this as the sign and
Yeah,
he's truly done with in ring competition at least.
yeah. Okay, so now here's our Vince news of the week.
Hood.
Uh, one of the potential buyers has already backed out of from the sale of WWE. That being Comcast, who's the parent company of NBC Universal, uh, and apparently that may scare away other buyers as well. And it's all having to do with Vince. Vince is around. They don't want anything to do with it, even though Nick Khan said that he'll step down once the sale is made. But we we can't really believe that he will step down.
Yeah, the fact that it's already scaring off buyers, like, this should be the ultimate sign that you shouldn't have returned. That you should have
Yeah,
you should have just let it be, but yet you didn't. I don't know, man. If if it goes over a year and WWE doesn't sell, which is a weird thing to say
yeah,
because it should it
cause
should sell.
yeah, because I'm hearing in the next 3 months it'll happen.
Yeah. So if for some reason it doesn't happen in the next 3 months, and we make it to the 1 year mark of them trying to sell and it doesn't, and it's because of Vince, force him out again.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, it's
that
gonna be
is
because
my
the lawsuits
advice.
regarding Vince as well.
yeah, yeah. That doesn't help either.
I
Also,
You can't sell during legal proceedings, can you?
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not a
not
lawyer. I
that.
don't know.
I'm not
I
that
would
big on
think you
legal.
could, but
Walmart doesn't have a legal department, so well they do, but not in a store. So
Yeah,
um,
I'm not very clear on how that would work. I do have a family member who works very closely with lawyers, so that is a question I could ask. But my advice, if it comes to it, and I shouldn't have even said my advice because this is gonna sound horrible, not gonna lie, but look, man, I would just pay. God damn it, this is just bad advice all around now that I think about it, but fuck it. I'm gonna say it anyway since I already started. Under the table. Fuck it. WWE should pay someone to be like, hey, just say he did something. It's your word against his right now.
yeah,
You know?
but you
And
don't need to do that. People are already saying that, so you don't need to pay someone to say it.
yeah, but to bring up some new
mhm.
shit to force him out.
I mean, Rita Chatterton got $12 million just on hearsay.
Yeah. So if someone is willing to, as you're saying, hey, just say something. Doesn't have to be true or not. Like, just say something. Yeah, that's bad advice. But what else do you want me to say? Shit, he's a bad person and he's done some shit and he's still in there. Fuck sakes. Okay. This is what happens when someone like Vince, who's done some shit and it's come out, stays in power. This is the kind of shit we go through, man. This is the kind of thoughts that happen in my mind. Whatever it takes to get them out. Just fucking get them out. This is what Vince does to me right now. Sorry.
So back to the Comcast thing. I also found out this week that next year in 2024, Comcast is going to merge with Warner Brothers Discovery, and that could pose a conflict of interest.
It really could pose a conflict of interest.
Also, Tony Khan has said that he is very much interested in buying the company if he's allowed to, because again he is the competition. So he said he's interested to find out what the procedure is going to be would be for buying the company, and he'll be willing to make an offer if he's allowed to. Which I don't see why he wouldn't be allowed to, as long as he got the money, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't see no reason why not. Vince did buy WCW.
Yeah, and Vince bought WCW on the cheap. He got it for like $4 million.
Yeah. As long as you have the money and you're a better person than Vince, which 99% of the people right now are, I'm down. I'm down for anybody buying it, to be
Yeah,
honest. Just move us away from all this bullshit.
Anybody but Saudi. That's
Yeah,
still my
and
thoughts.
like I
Anybody
said,
but the Saudi.
better than Vince, and Saudi is not better than Vince. So,
yeah. Because I was telling Freddie earlier this week, if that happens, does that mean we're gonna have to learn how to read Arabic?
no.
I mean,
Look,
not trying to offend anybody, but yeah,
yeah, look, man, I can barely freaking control what I know right now. So,
I
yeah,
can
that's
barely.
gonna be a
I
big
haven't
no
even
for
mastered
me.
this language. You expect me to
Yeah.
get another one?
Yeah, we barely like keeping our grasp on the control of the English language. So, yeah, that's a big old no for me. Like Johnny said, no offense to anybody, but I'm too old to start. We're too old to start learning something new. I don't want to learn a new language.
yeah,
Plus, it
yeah,
looks
yeah.
all scribbly. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Well, I mean, it's like I'm barely understanding Japanese symbols.
Yeah. Nah,
But you
if
have
it.
to admit, y'all two are both know Spanish too. So, but y'all haven't
Yeah,
advanced. You already know
but.
these
Yes,
languages.
but
I don't know any. I just
that,
know
that
one.
that's our second language. We grew up with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, we would. Unless if you grew up with it, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I've tried learning other languages just because reasons, but I want to be able to watch anime without like having the
Subtitles.
subtitles
Yeah,
Exactly.
or
yeah.
doing the bad English dubbing. So, but it's
So
not gonna
so
happen.
so now that you've said that, I have heard there is a company out there that has created the technology to dub when you see movies. You know how when you see movies dubbed into other languages, you see the lips moving. The lips don't match the language they're speaking. Well, this company has somehow fixed that problem to where whatever language is being dubbed in, the lips match the words.
All right.
That would take a
Well,
lot of editing.
yeah,
Pretty innovative.
yeah. It's innovative, but yeah, it would take a lot. And just like Zach said, they would all quit WWE and go to AEW or somewhere else. Like, yeah, some of them would, but WWE has its fair share of lifers who, no
Yeah.
matter what, for the namesake of WWE, they would stay.
And some of them probably be forced out by Saudi too.
Yeah, yeah. It might not even be up to them, so.
And then by next year,
It's.
we could be looking at the new company of AEWWE ROH.
What kind of a name are we gonna be running with this time next year?
Yeah.
Like, I wish we had some sort of an idea, but
World Elite Wrestling.
World Elite
World
Honor.
Elite Wrestling. World Elite Wrestling Entertainment. Oh God,
Honor has to be somewhere in
I,
there.
just, I just felt wee wee.
Okay, look, man.
No.
We're already trying to move away from one freaking guy who has accusations having to do with his wee wee. I can't believe we're talking about Vince's fucking wee wee. And
Wow.
and now that's what we're gonna call it?
We only been on
Fuck.
about 5 minutes. We're already off the rails.
What a shit. And
Oh, good Lord.
we're not even 20 minutes in and we're already speaking wee wees.
Well, I already said 69.
Nice. Yeah, it's just a big oh no from
and
me, man.
and spoilers, we might be talking about blowjobs later.
Probably. Probably are.
Good Lord.
You know what I mean. Okay, well, back to the news after that. WrestleMania weekend just keeps getting bigger. So last week I mentioned the two GCW shows. Now on March 30th, the same day as Josh Barnett's Bloodsport with GCW and a bunch of others, uh, Impact is going to have a co event with New Japan called Multiverse United, and it's going to have a double main event for the Impact title. Josh Alexander is going to defend against Kushida, and Speedball Mike Bailey is going to be taking on Will Ospreay. This on the same day that Mike Bailey is already going to take on Kota Ibushi.
What are they trying to do to look, man? At least what we can say is it's gonna be a lot of really good wrestling.
He might actually have to take a speedball.
Yeah. Shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Don't
To
look
get
into
through
it, and
that,
I'm sorry for that accusation.
because you get Will Ospreay and Kota Ibushi. Imagine how red his chest is going to be by the end of the night.
Very, very red, man. He's gonna go through it, but this is what he loves to do.
Yeah,
And for the caliber of matches that they're gonna be, yeah, yeah, it's gonna be some really good shit going on that day. And Zach, you did hear right. He did say we might speak blowjobs later. If something's gonna bring you in to start watching AEW, it's blowjobs. Just saying.
yeah. Okay. What else was I gonna bring up?
Evidently, blowjobs.
Well, that's later.
Oh, okay.
That's later.
That's later. Yeah.
Happy endings for everybody on a Saturday night.
Uh, SummerSlam has been set for August 5th at Ford's Field in Detroit. That's something to look forward to for the summer.
Yeah, it's the excitement for SummerSlam is definitely gonna ramp up after WrestleMania season concludes, but people are already speculating as to what can happen there. But one main event show at a time.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, and I guess that's it for the news for now. If I think of something, I'll bring it up.
Nah, I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, it was
Jerry
pretty light.
Lawler.
Yeah, it was pretty light on the wrestling news this week, other than Lawler.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, like at the beginning of the week, I'm like, oh, please don't let it be one of those weeks where it just spirals out of control
Yeah,
because of the news.
we just had one of those a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm glad that is the only like major news we had this week. So Yeah. Now that we've made it with the news of the week, I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for WWE this week.
Okay. Well, there were two big promos this week. One on Raw, one on SmackDown. Both featuring Paul Heyman. The one I'm going to highlight is the one that happened Monday on Raw between Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes came out to to address Roman Reigns, but he also said that now that Sami challenged Roman at Elimination Chamber, that he might not even get to face Roman. He might be facing Sami, and that's when Paul Heyman came out, uh, and once he came out, Cody, he told Paul how much he admired him and admires him for all the things that he did for his family. Talked about how in 2001 that when they pretty much had no money, that Paul Heyman called Dusty up and invited him to come be on ECW, work with Steve Corino, and he was very appreciative for that. And for the first time, I think ever, we saw Paul Heyman cry when Paul Heyman got on the mic. He was trying to fight back the tears, but you could tell you could tell he was tearing up. You could just hear it in his voice, and he was saying how much that he admired Dusty for uh, for everything that he did in the business, talking about uh, how he trained all these future stars that are there now, like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, Bailey. But he said the one wrestler he didn't train, or he also mentioned Roman Reigns. He also said the one wrestler that he didn't train was Cody, which maybe some truth to that. I mean, because Cody started NXT, it wasn't even a thing yet. I mean, I'm sure he gave him training over the years. uh, and then Paul Heyman said that the last conversation he had with Dusty, that Dusty told Paul that Cody was the best son that he had. Sorry, Dustin.
His favorite.
Yes, his that Cody was his favorite. So sorry, Dustin.
Exactly.
But he also said that Roman Reigns was the son that he never had.
He wished he had. Yeah.
Yeah, he wished he had, and that got to Cody. Cody said, everybody. He held out his hand to shake Paul Heyman's hand, and he said, "Well, you know what? Everybody always wants to make this personal, and I'm going to make it personal, but not with you, but with Roman Reigns. If if we meet at WrestleMania." So yeah, this story just took another turn,
Mm.
This
and
is
I mean,
some. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say from what I've heard, I mean, Dust, Dusty was very much involved in Cody's upbringing in the business, and even before that, I was listening to a podcast the other day. They were talking about how when because I was listening to Steve Jensen from Fightful talking, because he went to the same high school Cody did around the same time, and he was saying that Dusty would always be there at the football games and the wrestling meets, and he would be just another parent. He would be volunteering. He would take the tickets. He would be in the concession stand grilling hot dogs. Just being a parent and being supportive. So and I'm sure wrestling training had to go along with that.
Yeah. It's like something I said a couple of weeks back with this whole bloodline thing. It is really, really, really good, especially when something like this takes control and these promos are just able to happen because of stuff that is rooted in realism. Like they are using real life shit that has
Yeah.
happened, bringing it in and making those stories work with the stories they're trying to tell.
This was very much an AEW style promo.
Yeah. And that right there, we're not the only ones that have said it. We've heard other people make the comparison. And I think that as soon as people get wind that that's what they're comparing it as, these people that are anti AEW are gonna be like, no, this is like Cody Rhodes in WWE. This is the Cody Rhodes that we know and love, that we hated when he went over there. But this is Cody Rhodes from AEW that came over to WWE. The Nightmare logo, the music,
Yeah.
the way, if he wouldn't have gone to AEW and like created AEW and all that shit, Cody wouldn't be able to be in the position he's in right
Yeah.
now.
He would honestly. I think even if he could stand it for that long, he would probably still be playing Stardust.
Yeah, he probably would be. And nothing wrong with the Stardust character. I mean, it was entertaining, but I'm sure he wanted to be taken seriously, and that just wasn't happening with Stardust. So he had to go doing what he had to do to be taken seriously, and you know that's why I said you have to just acknowledge that AEW has happened.
No pun intended.
Or maybe I did say that on purpose. No, I didn't. It just happened that way. But you can't deny the fact that other companies happen. And I know of some people that whenever Cody did his AEW thing, they hated him. Like they hated the Cody he had become. But then he comes over to WWE, and since we've already been there, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. I'm just gonna bluntly put it out there. When he went from being in AEW to WWE again, those same people that hated him were all up on Cody's dick again.
Yeah, it's those WWE lifers.
Yeah, which hey, if AEW hadn't had happened, that's what I would call myself. But
Yeah, because
I
we really have
watch,
no choice.
yeah, but I watch other companies.
Yes.
You just, like I said many times on here, you just have to enjoy pro wrestling. No matter what company it is, you don't have you. Obviously, you're not able to watch everything because there's a lot of shit going on. But
Can't we all just get along? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Can't we all just get along?
Yes.
Like we gotta try here, man. We
Yeah.
we can't we can't just be hating each other for
And
other
in the last
companies.
in the last 3 years, we've gone to see 5 different promotions. We've gone to WWE shows, AEW. We went to a New Japan show. We've been to ROH. We went to GCW. So it's just to us, it's just wrestling.
Yeah, to us, like yes, we can be like, okay, we enjoy this from WWE, we enjoy that from AEW. Like, there's gonna be stuff you like and that you don't like, but admitting that you can just watch wrestling, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt you to say that, and that is what people need to get over. But to get a little bit back on track, Zach said, I thought Cody was going to beat Heyman's ass. Maybe if this was the Cody of old, yes,
Yeah,
but he's grown up Cody. So he knows when to do it. And this just wasn't the time for that. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen right now.
and it was sometime at least once before this match happens. I want Cody to mention AEW once
Yeah.
because he hinted at it this week, but he said we really can't talk about
Yeah. I just think they should let it happen, man.
it.
We gotta start blurring the lines here.
Yeah, if he has interaction with Sami, I want him to bring up the fact that Sami brought up AEW one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. It can happen. Like you can name drop, man. It's fine. It should be fine. Name dropping other companies should be allowed. That's just how I feel. But yeah, man. We know Paul Heyman is gold on the mic, and then bringing in Cody and having them do this segment was just gold. And there's a lot of questions there because with Elimination Chamber coming up and Sammy having the match against Roman, but then obviously having the question of Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. There's a lot going on with people wanting to take on the bloodline, and there's worries there of is Cody gonna get booed if Sammy doesn't win that Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, see, this is a problem they have because everybody's been wanting Cody to face Roman ever since he got injured, but Sami has organically gotten over, just like just like Daniel Bryan did back in the day.
And like Kofi did a couple years ago
Yes, yeah,
when he filled in for Mustafa.
yeah,
Yeah,
But this has been building longer than that, so
yeah.
yeah,
Because Sami's interaction with the Bloodline started after WrestleMania last year.
yeah. So there's definitely been building blocks for both Sammy and for Cody. I just wish it didn't. I mean, I love that this is happening all at once because it makes for great TV. But maybe they should have found a way to time it better. Maybe we should have saved Cody for later, or not have mentioned. I don't know. But then he would have won the Rumble, so you would have brought it into it anyway. I don't know. I just think it's a
But then,
lot all at once, but
yeah,
it's a good amount.
but also Triple H also has something to do with this because remember when this first started, Vince was still in charge. So who knows where the story would be if Vince was still around.
Yeah,
I mean, we might still be in the early stages of it.
yeah. Who knows, man? All I know is like 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 what Johnny and Andrew told me earlier in the week. When were you as excited for an episode of SmackDown? Like the level of views that SmackDown got. I heard it's really, really good. And it's all because of that.
Yeah,
Everything
because
going on with Bloodline and Cody and Bloodline and Sammy. So,
yeah, because we might I don't know if we are going to talk about it, but there was more progression on the Sami Bloodline story on SmackDown. Now getting the Usos possibly in trouble with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure one of us will bring it up. So
Yeah.
to see if it's Drew though is the one that brings it up. Drew, what's your moment for WWE this
It's the whole Jay storyline.
week?
Come on, you knew it had to be. Will he show up to defend his titles? And there for a minute, we didn't think he did. They were doing the announcing. That's when Jimmy looks up at the top of the arena and he's coming down through the stands after Jimmy comes out alone. So then they fought Braun and Ricochet, which was an intense match, quick paced. I love the way they had Jay getting the win after the blind tag. When that whole sequence there at the end with the pin, where Ricochet did the what was it? He did the 450 or 630, and he
Yeah.
bounced, and when he bounced, Jay come off the top rope on the other side to pin him.
Yeah, it was almost similar to what Ricochet and Logan Paul did, except this time one landed before the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very good move. They got the 3 count. Then you have the Usos backstage walking, and Jay says, "I'm still thinking about whether I'm part of the bloodline or not." And then they split and walk off. Then you see Sammy and Jay having a conversation between the trailers in the back.
And the whole time, Paul Heyman is lurking in the back.
Yeah,
We saw you, Heyman. You ain't hiding
yeah.
from nobody.
Yeah, I was gonna say something bad, but I'm not.
No,
That
go
pole ain't
ahead.
big enough to hide Paul Heyman.
And then Jimmy or Paul asked Jimmy what did Jay say? He said, "Oh, nothing."
Oh, nothing. Yeah,
It's similar to the whole Roman Jay what Sammy said at the or no the
when
Roman Sammy thing at the Survivor Series. What Sammy
what
had to say.
yeah what Kevin say have to say to you?
Yeah, yes, yes. So at the end of the show, and I'm sorry, just I'm stealing your moment.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, at the end of the show, Paul tells Jimmy that Roman has something he wants you to do. He wants you to stay home and get the on-air perspective because you miss things when you're here that you don't see on TV.
Yes, and he was alluding to the conversation they had earlier in the night.
Yeah, between Jay and Sammy.
Also, next week's in Montreal, and they're not allowed in Canada. So there's that bit.
It sucks
Well,
that they're not allowed.
I know at least one of them not allowed in Canada. I don't know if that both aren't or I don't know what's
Because
up.
as far as I know, isn't it Jay the one that is allowed
I
in?
think so because he's had more DWIs or DUIs or whatever DWIs than Jimmy has.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it makes sense that you're keeping both of them away, but it sucks that when it comes to doing shows in Canada, we can't get the Usos, but at least they found a way around it. So, but yeah, man, all that shit there was good, and yeah, just tying it with Sammy and like him and Heyman going out there at the beginning of the show again, and just thinking that the promo or the segment on Monday was so damn good, and then you followed it up with Sammy and Heyman in the ring. It just continued it so good. It kept the flow going all week long, and that's kind of the thing that I missed. That I do miss to this day is what happened on Raw had consequences on SmackDown. Like it
Yeah,
continued throughout the week. There wasn't that brand split. So just to see something like that happening again It's fucking great, man.
And we haven't seen that since way back since the initial brand split in 2002.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great to see that shit happening. As far as my moment, I'm gonna go a little bit more light because that was some serious conversations that we just had there, and being the bloodline and all that, and everything at stake. Of course, it had to be serious. But for my moment, I'm just gonna go with one line that was said, and that will explain it all. You can't polish a turd. We've already tried.
So okay, are we gonna talk? Are we talking Lacey Evans or Baron Corbin?
Both. They're both turds.
Yeah.
I was referring to Baron Corbin that
Yes.
he had a match against Dexter Loomis and he lost. But a little bit later on in the backstage, JBL catches up with him, and Baron Corbin is just no selling a loss. He's just like, hey man, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go get some food or like what's going on? And that's when JBL is like, bro, you just lost and it doesn't affect you one bit. You're not a modern day wrestling god like I've been claiming that you are. You're a clown. And that's when he said that like you can't polish a turd. I've
Hmm.
already tried. So JBL tried his best to make Baron Corbin better, and I'm just glad that they're parting ways because
Yeah.
it wasn't really working for a lot of people.
Yeah, and the one person that really wasn't working for was Triple H.
Yeah,
Triple H is the one that put a stop to this.
yeah, and at least because like this is something where a couple of weeks ago, even a couple of months ago, it would just we would just stop seeing it. There wouldn't be no like wrap up to the story. At least this way, it sort of wraps it up, and you can show a different version of Corbin, or he can even go away for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
go regrow your hair.
yeah,
Come back as the lone wolf. Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
yeah,
know how long it would take for him to grow back his hair, but yeah, he needs to go. He needs to go back to the lone wolf Baron Corbin. That's when people were really behind him. So I'm just glad that even though we were hearing that this wasn't working for a lot of people, at least they wrapped it up on air to where we can say, okay, here is the end of that. Here is the end of those days.
Yeah. Get rid of Happy Corbin. Get rid of King Corbin. Go back to
the
Baron Corbin, the lone wolf.
the
Yeah,
one that people loved the most was the bum ass Corbin.
yeah,
And that's because he kept losing, but you don't want him to lose
Yeah,
for his rest of his
yeah,
career.
yeah. He just needs to go back to being a badass. So,
no
Lone
bum
Wolf,
ass.
Baron Corbin. Yeah. Be a badass, not a bum ass.
Yeah,
Yeah. And see, much respect to Dolph Ziggler, but it's like what Zach just said. He's like he's going down the line of Dolph Ziggler. He's just there.
yeah. I think I would like to see Dolph at least if not change his character, just go be with your brother in AEW.
Yeah. I know he's one of the ones that has said like he's a lifer, but
Yeah,
you gotta go do something worthwhile while you can. And if that means leaving stepping aside from WWE. You just gotta. Sometimes you gotta step aside, man. So yeah, I think that would be a hell of a move to have him go join his brother in AEW. But yeah, Zach, Zach, I'm gonna speak to you real quick, Zach. Yes, he has a brother. His brother is in AEW.
His brother was beaten by Jungle Boy last night.
Yeah,
Yes.
his brother needs his help right now because he's not doing too like he's in the promised land of AEW, and I'm sorry, after what I said of like we have to blur the lines and stuff, for some people AEW is the promised land.
And Brody Lee was the one who got Ryan Nemeth the job
Yeah.
because Ryan Nemeth used to babysit -1.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he would be one to benefit a lot more from going to AEW. But yeah, man, we just gotta get a better storyline for Baron Corbin. And if this is what brings him back to being the lone wolf, I'm all down for it. But I don't know how long it's gonna take for him to grow back his hair. Like,
And Drew, I thought you were going to bring this up, but we got a surprise appearance from Lita at the end of the show.
Well, that's before I saw SmackDown.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, you did say that. You said
I did
depending
see-
on what happened on SmackDown. But yes, so it was a cage match between Becky Lynch and Bayley, and the Damage Control kept interfering. So you hear the Lita music hit, and she comes out and she distracts Damage Control, so Becky can pick up the win. So now there's one more piece to this puzzle that I've been hearing about because you got three Damage Control members. Now you got Becky Lynch and Lita. I've heard that the next person coming in is going to be Trish, and they're going to have a six women match at Elimination Chamber. That's
please.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Saturday. That's next week.
Well, that means we'll see Trish on Monday,
Evidently.
and it is going to be in Canada, so she is from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Please bring back like it's more than likely gonna happen because Lita is always gonna be connected with Trish Stratus.
Yes.
So if you're setting up like a 6 woman match and you've already brought in Lita, this is like the situation when it should have been Mercedes Moné. Like you're bringing in Lita, it has to be Trish Stratus, because anybody else you try to use, it's just not gonna be what people want now. So, yes, please give us Trish Stratus, and it being Canada, I think WWE Triple H knows what he's doing, so they'll use Trish.
Becky's gonna be the envy of everybody.
Yeah,
Being in a 3-way with Lita and Trish.
that's the dream, isn't it?
That's every man's dream.
Man, every man's dream. But yeah, man, it's exciting. It's exciting, and I just hope like they got something better for Baron. I just hope
We hope.
like that Dolph Ziggler decides to do something good as well, because he's a good talent as well. But yeah, there's lots of stuff that we really enjoyed from WWE this week. It was a hell. Normally, I'd say like the status quo of, man, what a hell of a week for AEW, but what a hell of a week for WWE. Like this is a big win in their eyes, in my eyes for them. So hell yeah, that was some good shit. So Now that we've gone with our moments for WWE, I'm gonna go back to Johnny and get his moment for AEW.
Okay, well, my moment for AEW is going to be another promo. So, backstage, MJF is telling a story of how when he was in high school that he had this Camaro and that he likes to drive fast. So he had already picked up several speeding tickets, and he was one more ticket away from losing his license.
Been
Well,
there.
he he had a date with this girl that he was crushing on, and he decided, well, you know what, we're gonna speed because that's what I do. And it happened to be raining this night, and he kind of gets distracted because his girlfriend decides to, let me just say, she decides to bend over in his lap. There's your blowjobs, by the way.
Zach, you
forgot
paying
forgot
attention?
about that.
Zach, this is why you
I
need to
forgot
watch
that story.
AEW. Zach, calling Zach. This is why you need to watch AEW.
And yeah, so she distracts him, and not only that, it's raining outside. So I don't know what happened. He swerved, and they ended up hitting a telephone pole, and they're both out. They both get knocked out. Well, when he comes to, you know, he can hear the police coming in the distance, and he sees his girlfriend in the seat next to him, uh, just laying there. He puts his finger under her nose to make sure that she's still breathing. Yes, she's still alive. So it's like good. So he says that, well, instead of helping her, he switched positions with her in the car. So that way it would appear that she was driving the car and she hit the telephone pole, not MJF. And talking to Brian Danielson, he said, and that's the kind of person that I am. So yeah, and
My,
and
go ahead.
and then later in the night, he proceeded to try and lock Brian Danielson in the training room before his match, because it was the
Also,
match.
he
Yeah.
also said, "I'll call her Liv."
Yes. He said, let's just call her Liv, and that's a nod to I think like some Twitter war between Liv Morgan and MJF or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I want to say it was like somewhere between 6 months to a year ago.
Yeah.
MJF put up a picture of him hanging out with Liv Morgan.
Okay.
So,
And did you see the response by Bo Dallas?
no, I didn't.
No.
Uncle Howdy's coming for you, MJF.
See, this is what needs to happen.
Yes.
This
If
is good shit.
if Tony Khan does buy WWE, this is a storyline.
It's already made.
Yes. So so the well, okay, so if Brian Danielson beat Roosh, he would get his 1 hour Iron Man match at Revolution. So he tried to lock him in the training room and have Aubrey count him out. Aubrey does the slowest count ever
Ever,
on purpose.
which was great.
Yeah, and
And she's
then
sitting there looking at MJF the whole time. She's like, two.
Two.
yeah, and so
I think she only
after
got to like 3 before Danielson came out.
yeah, so after he opened the door and Takeshita took care of Vance, uh, yeah, he got to the ring and they had their match. It was a good match, but Danielson got the win in the end.
Hmm.
So he's going to be facing MJF in 1 hour Iron
And
Man Iron Man match. Now, here's the funny part of this story. After MJF admitted to committing a felony on live TV, that night the Long Island Police Department got about 300 phone calls to report MJF.
and well, there was another funny part. MJF was actually on commentary for this match between Roosh,
Uh-huh.
and he said he offered Tony Schiavone a lot of money to leave the business, and Tony goes, "I'll take Venmo."
uh,
But yeah, people would actually think that it was a real. Well, from what I hear, some of the events were true, but this was now about 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know. I don't know how true it is, but I know some parts of it were true.
yeah, that goes back to what I said, rooted in realism.
Yes.
Like, look, man, we all do some shit in them high school days.
Yes.
So I can't blame MJF for this. But I will say this. This is what MJF tweeted 11 hours ago. And I told this to Johnny already because we were at the gym when I saw this tweet. So MJF tweeted out and he said, "If I get one more call from the Nassau Police Department, I swear to God, snitches, all of you, snitches." He's playing it up, man.
Yeah.
Like, he knows MJF is a very smart man with what he does and how he portrays himself. And Johnny said this, and I agree. He needs to bring this into his whatever promo he cuts this coming week.
Yeah. You need to talk about how all the fans are such marks that they thought that this was real. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. He'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man.
Or Max Caster will make a rap about
Yes. Yeah. That, we're going to talk about the acclaimed here
it. Yeah.
in a bit.
Oh.
Uh,
Yes.
okay. So that look, we got a little bit caught up there, and it's been a while since this has happened. So I'm gonna ask the question. That was your moment, right, Johnny? I hadn't moved over to Drew yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. The MJF. Yeah.
Yeah, we got so into it that I forgot whose moment it was again. All I know is we were into it. So yeah, that was some very funny, good shit. So now that we got Johnny's moment in there, I'm gonna go over to Drew and get his moment for AEW.
My moment was the actual match between Roosh and Danielson.
Yeah,
These guys beat the hell out of each other. Half of it before the bell even rang. Danielson got busted open. Uh, and it was funny when there were several moments when Danielson was in the ring and Roosh was walking around trying to avoid a suicida topa. Topa, however you say it.
Sope suicida.
Yeah, that thing. And he changed course
Spanish.
and jumped through the ropes anyway, like at the corner.
Hey, what
Yeah.
does the tope suicida mean in English?
I have no idea.
Suicide dive.
Okay. I don't speak Spanish.
you need to learn, dude. How dare you not learn other languages?
Oh my god. You learn Arabic.
No.
All right, then. No. Yeah, it's just a great match all the way around. And then after the match, well, we know Danielson got the win because he's going to Evolution. And after the match, MJF just beat the hell out of him. Beat down Danielson after he all bloody and everything. Yeah, it was a great match. I loved it.
Yeah. And one of the things I did hear about this match is that Roosh kind of pushed the envelope a little bit more than he should have. And he wanted to take Danielson to the limit. And so they just went, much like MJF and Liv did, they went blow for blow. And they tested each other's limits.
At one point, Danielson even got blown on the camera.
Yeah, yeah. I like that, man. Because
Yeah,
if that was WWE, they would have like cleaned the camera off during commercial break. Not
they just
AEW,
left it
man.
there.
Yeah, that was cool. That you would be watching the match, and then you would be like, "Look, there's specks of blood on the
Yeah.
camera lens," so you just
Yes.
keep on
And
seeing that shit.
and then Aubrey saved Ruth from tasting Danielson's blood.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, man, I know we're like on the outer edges of like this pandemic, but still, man,
Yeah,
like that's nasty. It's one thing to like kind of smear the blood on you, but yeah, definitely don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of things that happened this week along the same veins, along the same lines of this, where people tested each other's limits, and I'm gonna touch on that here in a bit, but before we touch on that, like I'm gonna go ahead and go into my moment, and I think we know where I am gonna go here.
That tested the fans' limits.
Fucking hell, man. The Acclaimed versus the Guns. It was a decent match up
yeah,
until the end.
yes.
First, I want to give props to Max Caster for rapping in Spanish when you're in Texas.
El Paso.
Yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna get cheered even more. Like the Acclaim know what they're doing. So yeah, for him to come out and rap in Spanish, like it was badass. This
And
is why
next
you
week,
need to learn Spanish.
they're going to be in Laredo. So you're going from one border town to another border town.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my part of my moment. Daniel Bryan.
What
When the
was
crowd
it?
was chanting, see, see, see.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and
See,
that's
you
because
do know some Spanish.
the Hispanic population in El Paso is like 84%.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very happy to hear those sea chants during that match. It was awesome. And then they were also chanting Si se puede.
Yeah,
So,
yes
I
we can.
fucking loved it, man.
Yes we can.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. They were saying that they're worried though because the ticket sales from Fort Laredo haven't been great yet, and they're saying a lot of it is attributed to WWE because they just ran SmackDown in the same building a couple weeks ago.
I'm not.
But I think you're gonna have a big walkout crowd though, because
Yeah,
that's what El Paso had. El
I'm
Paso had a
not.
big.
I'm not worried about it. Is it gonna sell out? Maybe. I
Yeah.
think they'll be very close to selling out that night, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people just decide that day or the day before to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, let's just go to this show let's just go to this show. It's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So I'm not worried. It's gonna get the ticket sales it deserves. But
But back to the main event.
yeah, I've heard a lot of people try and make the case for the Guns winning this match. Andrew being one of them. I just
Like I said, going into the match, I thought the Acclaim would lose the titles, but I thought they'd do it with the Billy Gunn turn. But them losing without the Billy Gunn turn,
Yeah,
whatever. And
and
a lot of companies, they love for heels to have titles because it pisses the crowd off.
I thought they were going to do the turn at the end because it would took a few minutes from the end of the match to them going off there. So much that after the Guns music had gone off, they started playing the Acclaim music. But I heard that they had to make up some time because earlier in the night the Bunny was injured against Jamie Hayter. She got a fractured orbital bone, and so they had to make up for time there.
Yeah, that match had to end quickly, quickly to.
But I think I can justify for AEW why they did the title switch here. And this is speculation on my part, but I think it's what they're leaning towards. Tony Khan wants to put the titles back on FTR. The problem is you don't want FTR beating the Acclaim because the Acclaim, just like Sami Zayn got over in WWE, the Acclaim have gotten over in AEW, and so you don't want because you don't want either the FTR or the Acclaim to be the heels. So that's why you put it on a heel tag team that they can lose to FTR, and that'll probably happen at Revolution.
yeah. I just I knew that one day the Acclaimed were gonna lose the titles. I just wasn't expecting it to be to the Ass Boys.
Yeah,
Look, man. If you're gonna have them lose, at least put them up against an established, more credible tag team. And that is the problem that people have with this is that
Dude,
there are so many other teams in AEW that they could have done this with.
yeah. I mean, because right now, there's a lot of teams that they're either doing stuff in the trios division or they're doing something else in storyline in the company. Then there's, I mean, you could create tag teams. I mean, you could have like next week, Moxley and Clay are taking on Roosh and Vance in a Texas Tornado match. There's
Yeah,
two tag teams right there.
yeah. Because
You know,
I pulled up the list of AEW tag teams and stables. So you got Best Friends, you got Lucha Bros, you got Private Party, you got The Kingdom, you got
the
Top
private party's still a
Flight.
thing.
well, yeah, Mark Quinn has been injured,
Yeah,
so it's just Isaiah Cassidy.
I
so
guess
you
you could do it
got
on the firm,
Or
yeah,
you could have Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy.
yeah.
or
You got
either Ethan Page or Matt Hardy.
you got Top Flight, you got Jungle Hook, you got Butcher and the Blade. Some people might hate it, but you got Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
You still got the Dark Order out there.
Yeah, you got La Facción Ingobernables, any combination of them there. You got any combination of Blackpool Combat Club. You got Dark Order. You got any combination of House of Black.
Get the Young Bucks.
Yeah, you got Jericho Appreciation Society. They
Yeah,
got plenty of members. You got the Nightmare Family. You got the Elite.
you got the
The
Wingmen.
Firm. You got the Wingmen. the mogul
The factory.
affiliates. Like,
The factory.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
You got
plenty of
the,
people to go with.
the word Cortman.
Yeah.
And you also got the Ash Boys, which, in my opinion, have more talent than your current TBS champion. But hey,
And but also there's a storyline they're waiting for FTR with the S.
exactly.
I just I'm gonna use some of my favorite words here. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with this. Because if this makes it past Revolution, I'll be surprised. Perfect scenario, FTR returns, and they just announced that Gun Club Ass Boys are gonna have a match at Revolution, and their team is a mystery. It's a
Yeah.
mystery team,
Oh,
and then
that's going to
back
be a big pop.
the return of FTR,
Yes.
and they just beat the Ass Boys in less than 5 minutes.
So we've already talked about because we saw Revolution last year in the movie theater. We plan to do the same thing this year. So
Hell yeah, we
the
do.
the pop in that theater when FTR comes out.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hmm.
It's gonna rival the pop we got when Regal came out
Yeah.
and everybody lost their mind. Yeah, I just want it to be that day already. I just first I need them to sell the tickets to this shit because
Yeah.
we need to buy them like ASAP. But yeah, it's just this decision isn't for me. I'll see what happens, but I'm not sold on it. It should have been someone else. If the turn had happened, at least it would have been something else, you know? At least it would have been Billy Gunn coming back to help his sons out or something. But yeah, it just didn't have that for me. If that would have happened, I would have been fine with it. But yeah, it was just an odd choice. And the crowd chanting "This is bullshit" at the end of it, like it deflated the crowd. Like it was a very hot night for AEW,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't what people expected to end the night on. So
When they were hollering bullshit, it reminded me of like the ending to the Seth Fiend match at Hell in the Cell.
Yes. We'll never have
yeah,
to call the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
yeah. This just it just wasn't for me, man. But we'll see what they decide to do with it. The Ass Boys are now your AEW Tag Team Champions. So good for you.
Okay, so yeah, I almost forgot to bring this up. But back in let's say late 2021, early 2022, Austin Gunn was on a reality show. I don't know if y'all heard of this. It was called Relatively Famous Ranch Rules. I didn't watch the entire. There were like 10 episodes. I only got to like the fifth or sixth. But what it was, they put I think it was like nine kids of celebrities on one of those dude ranches in Wyoming to work, and you had like Easy E's daughter and Shaq's son and David Hasselhoff's son, all these different actual celebrities, and then you had Austin Gunn, the son of Billy Gunn. And it's funny because like all the tasks they had to do on the ranch, none of the actual like rich celebrity kids wanted to do it. Most of the jobs ended up being done by Austin Gunn because let's face it, Austin Gunn was the least famous of the celebrity kids there. And plus, his dad didn't make multi millions of dollars like the the parents of those other kids did. Billy Gunn made at most maybe 2 million a year. So he still had to do a lot of manual labor growing up. So that's why he did all this stuff. Y'all should go find that, go check it out. It's I think it's on Peacock because it was on E, so you'll be able to find it.
I still can't get past the fact that we had an ass boy on a dude ranch,
Yeah.
and that now the show where the ass boy was on a dude ranch is now on Peacock. Yeah, it all makes sense.
And the Dude Ranch was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which you could also call Jack's Hole, Wyoming.
My
My
whole
whole.
throwback to
Yeah,
something we did a while
you need to
back.
bring that up.
I need to bring that back.
So okay, so far, not to change the subject. So far she hasn't shown back up yet. So maybe we just got a one off.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it was just a one off because I just don't see like how she could improve in the ring. I just don't see her doing it. So yeah, I'm glad it was just a one off for the Rumble because you couldn't even get the count right on that shit. So yeah, yeah, it was a very interesting ending to a rather really good night for AEW, and I'm just happy that it was such an epic week for WWE, and that it was a very good week for AEW, even though the ending was not what a lot of people expected. Yeah, very excited for this coming week because there's going to be a lot of really good shit there, especially being in Canada, and Elimination Chamber is next Saturday. Like,
Yes, and we have a dilemma next week,
we
next
have a
Saturday,
very big dilemma.
because we have Elimination Chamber starting at 7, but at 9 o'clock, New Japan's Battle in the Valley from San Jose starts at 9 o'clock, and there's some pretty big matches on that card as well. We got, of course, Mercedes Monet taking on Kyrie for the IWGP Women title. Fred Rosser is going to defend the strong openweight title against Kenta. You got Jay White's going to go against Eddie Kingston for the IWGP World Title. We got Okada versus Tanahashi, among a couple other matches. So yeah, that's a pretty big card. So we may have to go from one show to the other.
Yeah, I don't know how long we're going to be streaming next Saturday, but I have a feeling it's going to be a good while.
So
We haven't sat down to discuss like
yeah.
plan it out yet, but it's gonna be a rather long stream, I think.
So I'm gonna order it. Order the NJPW. Once it starts at 9, I'll put it on my phone and just keep an eye out on it. See what matches we get, because I'm assuming Elimination Chamber is gonna go till at least 10.
Yeah, yeah. Elimination Chamber is going to at least 10, and if the Mercedes Monet match hasn't happened,
Yeah, we'll flip over.
yeah, we need to tune in for that shit. So
Yeah.
it all depends on if it times out right.
Yeah. If not for anything, we'll just stream that match.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll definitely discuss it throughout the week and try and get a more laid out plan. That way we know how long we'll be going for that night. But yeah, it's a lot of good shit, and like Zach just said in the chat, like we don't need Nia Jax because we have Dewdrop, aka Piper Niven, back. So
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people have said that Piper Niven is what Nia Jax wants to be, but can't. So hell yeah, man. I'm excited that she's back under that Piper Niven name. So yeah, lots of good shit there and lots of things to look forward to this coming week. But to see how it goes, it is time to stump the brain.
Okay. Rumble questions. I know we didn't do enough. I want to know who holds the record for the most total eliminations, both men and women's.
Two-parter.
Oh, so you want, okay, not just combined. So you want both the men's and the women's.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the women's, there's a tie. Bianca.
No.
What?
Total for all the Rumbles
Oh.
they've been in.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You know what? We did that last week.
Yeah, we did this most in one match last week.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for the men, I believe. Well, crap. Was it? I think it was just broken this year for the men. Because I know for a long time Kane had the record for the men. I think Brock Lesnar broke that record. Am I correct?
I don't know. Have to check. I still have Kane.
Okay. I don't know why I thought I heard that Brock broke it, but if not Kane, yeah, Kane was. I know he was number one for a long time, if he still is. And as far as the women goes, the woman, uh,
Yes, this still says Kane
okay, then that was my answer then.
at
That,
46.
yeah, that was my answer then because I don't know why I thought Brock had broken it, but I guess not. Uh, for the women, I'm.
Now,
Yeah.
this one was broken this year.
Okay. Was it Rhea Ripley?
Yes. She has 20.
Yeah, okay.
And,
Because I was gonna say I was also thinking Michelle McCool.
no, behind her is Charlotte with 15.
Okay.
Ugh.
Now,
And that's
this
because
is
Charlotte
funny.
wasn't in it this year.
Yeah. Rhea has 20 eliminations in 4 Rumbles. Kane has 46 in 20.
I mean, we've only had 5 women's rumbles.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna catch up to Rhea.
Yeah,
Like she's off on it to a good start.
We've had 6.
but by the way, if this ever comes up, I can name you the winner of every Royal Rumble since the beginning.
We've had 6 women's rumbles.
Yes,
It's
and
just
35 men. 36 if you count the one where they tested it out, where one man gained one.
are you also counting the greatest?
Unfortunately, yes, because WWE just
Yeah, you would kind of have to count that one just because they did. But yeah, man, lots of really good shit to look forward to. Like I said, it's I think as great as AEW is with everything going on with Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes and them heading into Canada. It's gonna be another epic week for WWE. So we're gonna
And we might get a
definitely
riot.
keep our eyes on that. It's I don't know, man. I keep on going back and forth. I keep on saying Sammy has to win, but does he win? Like none of us know.
this Montreal show might put the Montreal screw job to shame.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It definitely is gonna have the chance to do that. So we're gonna have all eyes on Canada this week. So, like always, man, if you have any questions or comments, russelllost@gmail.com, russelllost on Facebook. Don't forget to give us a follow on YouTube. And don't forget to give us a sub here on Twitch. We'd greatly appreciate it. So, like always, hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl to those of you that are watching it. And
Go Chiefs.
yes, go Chiefs. That's my pick as well. Andrew, your quick pick for the Super Bowl?
Who I'm rooting for or who I think I'm going to win?
Let's go with who you're rooting for and then who you think is going to win.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Oh, good.
But I think the Eagles are going to win because they have a better defense. Because defense usually wins these kind of games.
All right.
The real winner of the Super Bowl